Hello everybody, it's GirlGotGame, and welcome back to the Crimson Flower. Today, we are going to dive into Suren's special story. So, let's just jump right into it, shall we, and see what we can see with this. I wake up in a pleasant slumber where my body seems to float. The light slipping through my thinly opened eyelids was subdued and soft, and I knew it was only halfway through the night. I blink a few times. A gentle voice reached my ears at the same time as my blurred consciousness returned. Hello.
Oh, you're finally awake.
Suren, who seems to have been looking up at the moon by the window, lowers his gaze on me. I recognized his deep love for me in his softly relaxed eyes, and my heart softened and relaxed. I'm so happy, I don't know for a moment if this is a dream or reality. I don't know when I fell asleep.
I know when. You passed out just as I was telling you what I wanted you to say.
Suren's testimony brought back my foolish mind from a little while ago. I tucked my instantly hot cheeks under the blankets and glared at him with the best protest I could muster. You didn't have to be so detailed with your explanations. The pleasure I was feeling sort of melted my brain into a hot mess, so I can't remember clearly, but I feel like I was told a lot of embarrassing lines. Ah, is that why you're naked a bit? I understand. As I was writhing in shame and feeling steam coming out of my face, Suren returned with a bowl of water in his hand. The bed made a slight creaking sound under Suren's weight, and my heart pounded in my chest even though it didn't mean anything. Perhaps it's because I've been listening to it for hours along with all the other embarrassing noises. Yep,
It's not poisoned, you know.
I know. Suren tilts his head and makes fun of my red face. I feigned annoyance and accepted the bowl of water. To be honest, I was relieved to get it, because my throat was completely dry from having to say all the things Suren wanted me to. Oh yes, I'm sure you didn't say any of that of your own volition. As I drink it, a fresh scent invades my nostrils. It probably has some kind of juice in it. It's delicious. What kind of juice is in it?
Oh, I forgot.
That's a lie. Suren appears to be arrogant, but in reality, he's always caring about people. Judging by the fact that he's not saying anything, it probably contains an expensive ingredient, and he's hiding that so I won't apologize for it. I smiled without pointing that out, thanking my husband again for his kindness. Suren has a perverse side to him. You don't say. It's usually for the best to be honest with him. Thank you. My throat feels a lot better.
That's good. If you were to go around with a hoarse voice, there's no telling how other guys would look at me.
What do you mean?
They'd have some ridiculous delusions about what I made you do last night to make your voice go hoarse.
Oh, shut up. Don't worry, you're the only one who thinks like that.
You really don't get it. Be more aware.
You're the one who doesn't get it. You're the one who gets far more lustful gazes than I do. And jealous Naala rears her head again.
What?
See, you don't get it. In recent years, foreign countries have begun marrying off their daughters to Nasla nobility since the Rod has passed. Not just princesses, there are quite a few immigrants from Rus. Wow. Times have changed. In the midst of all this, Suren, who is handsome and has good manners if he keeps quiet. That is such a... But when is he quiet? Girl. Girl, please. We know this man, alright? Like, you are in deep Delulu land. Quite popular with women. I'll take your word for it. Of course, I don't expect Suren to be attracted to other women, but whenever I heard swooning voices at ceremonies and other events, I felt proud, but at the same time I had a complicated feeling. Bah, you have no idea how I feel.
Why are you sulking all of a sudden? Come on, eat something sweet and cheer up.
Suren dexterously peels the fruit while he is talking to me, apparently. He picks one of them and presses it lightly against my lips. I'm not the kind of person who'd get distracted by... It's delicious.
You could be more cute and say, "Oh, dear husband, please give me one more."
No way.
You really are a selfish brat.
Which one of us is? With each bite, I lose to the deliciousness of the fruit. So easily bought. At first, my lips were stubbornly focused, but before I knew it, they were half open as if waiting for the next one. Suren seems to know what he's doing and brings the pulp to my mouth one after another. It's like a chick being fed by a parent bird. What is it with you and feeding her? I blew out my cheeks as I imagined that scene, and Suren asked me with his eyes, "This is pretty sweet, this fruit."
Huh? Yeah, it's that kind of season.
The fruit, yeah, but so is Suren's demeanor. I think he has become much gentler, perhaps because we had been separated for 3 years. It's probably because we've become more honest with each other than when we first met. Because we were apart, we understood the importance of communicating our thoughts. Besides, the current happy space is built atop of many sacrifices. Not a moment can be wasted. When I think about it, this sweet atmosphere is like a miracle, and I always feel like crying. Feel like crying, or more accurate, I was already tearful, when Suren wiped the corners of my eyes with the back of his finger.
Why are you crying? I don't understand.
While saying that, Suren also seemed happy. Young chicks cry. That's what they do. Trace the sound and return it with a different meaning. Suren laughed deep in his throat, then suddenly turned serious and said,
I wish I could watch over you like a parent bird.
"What do you mean?"
I heard you were talking alone with a man this afternoon. One of my subordinates told me.
You guys. Alone? He asked for directions at the market, and I just showed him the way.
You walked with him for a bit, didn't you?
I felt like he wasn't getting my verbal explanation. He reacts as if he is convinced, but leaves some frustration in his voice. We have changed in many ways, but Suren's jealousy is as strong as ever. Girl, don't even talk. You were just in that zone yourself like 2 seconds ago. If I interpret that as affection for me, I am happy. But it also feels like he doesn't trust me all that much. It's a rough situation. You're still worried, despite us being officially married.
I never said I was worried.
Your voice says so. Isn't it about time to start trusting me? I'm not going to be let off into the shadows. I am plenty vigilant. He puts strength into his staring eyes and persuades them with his gaze as well. For a few seconds, we both silently held our ground. Suren was the first to break, as he shrugged with an exaggerated sigh.
All right. I trust you.
Good. You finally understand.
But be on your guard when you're dealing with Toya.
You just promised to trust me, but that's doubt, isn't it? Toya's your best friend, isn't he?
Sure, he's a good friend and he's special, but he's a little bit of a pain in the ass.
Why's that?
Various things. Various.
I've seen enough of Toya to get to know him. From my point of view, Toya is a good person. Well, he does have his selfish ways. Maybe comes with the territory of being king? Well, I mean...
Everyone has a side of themselves that they don't show others.
Yeah, ominousness is ominousness, if I do say so. I like that, though, that Suren's just kind of hinting at that here, like, I'm just saying, the guy's got a crazy side to him, so... Yeah, but you know that part about him, right? Then tell me. I won't be convinced unless you give me a reason not to interact with him.
Anyway, he's a man too, so don't let your guard down.
Loyalty to Toya one out there.
He's just like, no, it's not my secret to divulge, so I won't say anything.
Again, when it comes to Toya, you always keep it to yourself. I've always felt that there was something other than male friendship between Suren and Toya. Some kind of secret, if I had to guess. And that it is not something that can be spoken out loud. Somehow, it feels like it's something different from jealousy. The look in Suren's eyes as he looks at Toya is something tinged with a hint of melancholy. It's strange, because Toya is a childhood friend who has been by his side for a long time. I once heard Suren muttering to himself, "I can't leave him alone." His voice sounded like an older brother worrying about a weaker younger brother, which deepened the mystery in my mind. Toya is an excellent king who excels in both literary and military arts. I don't see any particular cause for concern in terms of health. Yet Suren continues to worry about something about Toya. What in the world is... Everyone has a secret or two, so I'm not going to dig too deeply here. Still, I can't help but be curious about it because it comes up a bit here and there in connection with Suren's jealousy. I'm sure Suren and Toya don't mean to do that, but sometimes I feel like I'm being kept out of the loop. But now that we're officially married, it's about time you tell me. Hey, Suren. You and Toya are childhood friends, right?
Yeah. What about it?
You're such good friends, but what about Toya don't you trust? Or rather, what are you worried about?
It's nothing, really.
You always say that, but He kissed me to cover the question. Like, nope, all distraction time. Not gonna get into that backstory. I tried to protest that a kiss on the mouth wouldn't fool me, but I was suddenly at the mercy of an increasingly violent tongue, and I couldn't think about anything else. Is that the end? Okay, no. I've been thrown off the trail again. My body, still reeling from the aftermath of last night, is a little sluggish and heavy. Moreover, I was somewhat in a bad mood because the deception had left a haze in my chest. Even though I've come to the market, which normally puts me in a better mood, my eyes gloss over everything. Suren, you idiot. He's been so concerned about my physical condition since we got remarried, but then sometimes he goes wild. I'm feeling pent up. Maybe I'll put some black beans in his dinner for revenge.
That sounds interesting. Revenge for what? Shh! Don't say my name in such a loud voice. Everyone will figure out that the king is here.
Well, you're not in your disguise today, so that's your own problem. I wonder if he really thinks they don't know. I chuckled and looked at the people around me as they quickly looked away. They definitely knew. Perhaps due to his personality, but the people of Nasla all have a soft spot for Toya. Which means he's escaped from the castle again. I hope Noel won't be angry with him. What are you doing here?
It's no problem. I've got permission from Noel.
Really?
Noel has always told me to keep my mind up to date on the latest information in order to lead everyone.
Which means...
This place is a treasure trove of the latest trends, information, and curiosities. So being here is part of my job.
I think I've heard that excuse a few times before. So in other words, you don't have permission to be here.
So I'm telling you it's not a problem. Or maybe you don't want to have fun with me. I want to have fun.
I'm scared of Noel.
What? Him? I've already thought up a countermeasure to Noel's quips.
If you're thinking of countermeasures, then you really shouldn't be here.
Okay, here's the plan.
Listen to what people have to say.
First of all, you know that Noel has become really persistent these days about me producing an heir, right?
Yeah, seems that way.
So if he says that, I'm gonna reply immediately. That if I'm with her, she might conceive a prince someday.
Her? What? No! This is a terrible plan! What are you talking about? Oh, Toya, what? I don't remember you doing this in Suren's route. Why are you suddenly like this now in the special story? Toya!
Noel likes you, so it's a foolproof plan.
I feel instead of solving a problem, that would leave us with a much bigger problem.
It's just a countermeasure reply. I'm not serious about making a kid with you, you know.
If you were, I'd be running away at full speed. You're not planning on using that excuse every time you come to see me, are you?
I've only used this excuse 3 times.
3 times?! A criminal record with 3 prior incidents. Oh, so that's why Suren has been so wary of Toya lately. It's not very mature of him to get all worked up over a mere excuse. Is it a mere excuse, though? Is it, Naala? Is it? And for that matter, you're as carefree as ever.
No, anything but. Which is why I've come to see you here today.
You're coming to see me because you're not free?
Yeah, for a brief moment of solace. So let's have some fun.
Toya is a wise king. He never falls behind in politics or warfare. And yet, for some reason, there are times when he's rather childish in front of me and Suren. Maybe that's why it's hard for me to say no when Toya asks me to play with him. When he gets crestfallen, my chest tightens with guilt. On the other hand, there are times when he can be frighteningly intimidating in front of other vassals, so he is not to be underestimated at all. It's not quite the same as being able to switch gears. For Toya, I don't think that concept applies. Maybe it is something fundamentally different. I can't express it well, but I think it is something more pure.
What's wrong? Would you rather come to my room?
If anything, that plan is worse.
Why is it worse? You don't think I'd be rough with a woman, do you?
I don't think that, but...
If you refuse, it will be the 15th time.
Huh?
That's the number of times I've invited you to my room, but you said no.
I don't think it's appropriate, Your Highness. You don't need to remember such unnecessary things.
Oh. I was rejected 15 times, so I'm not trusted as a friend.
I do trust you.
Okay then. If it's decided, then let's go. Today we're going to my room. Good timing, there's something I wanted to show you.
Wait a minute! Somewhat forcefully, he takes my hand and pulls me. I wanted to persuade him somehow, but I couldn't shake off the king's hand. And above all, I didn't want to see the hurt look on the face of my longtime friend, Toya. Such long time. It's been like, what, 2 years? Well, it's daytime, and it's Toya, so I suppose a little while wouldn't be too bad. Yeah, because, nothing nefarious ever happened in the daytime. So this is not about letting one's guard down or creating a gap. With that excuse, I erased Suren's frowning face from the back of my eyelids. Oh, this is gonna be bad news bears.
It's really been a while since you last came to my room. Wasn't the last time when you and Suren came to greet me after your remarriage?
Yeah. Sorry for always leaving you hanging on sooner or later.
Since you came here just now, I don't care about the past.
When I entered the room, Toya immediately let go of my hand. Then, with eyes shining like a child's, he looks around the room.
Now, where do I start?
He looks happy. I am neither as knowledgeable as a sage, nor as strong as Suren. I'm just a woman. Despite that, Toya smiles with genuine joy. Looking at his innocent smile, I was convinced that Suren's wariness was wrong. Rather, I even regretted why I hadn't come sooner. If I can heal the heart of a longtime friend who bears heavy responsibilities and wears out his spirit day by day, I would be happy to go into his room. As I watched his back in front of me with a smile on my face, Toya suddenly turned around and said with a twinkle in his eye,
"Ah, that cursed mask I got the other day was interesting."
I like picture scrolls.
A picture scroll. In that case...
I feel bad for Toya, who recommended it, but if possible, I'd rather not be cursed. Having succeeded in my gentle refusal, I patted my chest and prepared myself for the possibility of another curse something or the other coming out. To be ready for that, I looked for something I could take interest in. What suddenly caught my eye was a model that seemed to represent this continent. Not only the Great River, which is the border between Rus and Nasla, but even its tributaries were reproduced in detail. It must have been made by a renowned sculptor. When I let out a breath of admiration at the high degree of perfection, Toya, peeking out from the side, asked out of curiosity,
You find that to be interesting?
I think this is pretty amazing.
That's a model I made to think about future developments. It's practical, but it's not very interesting.
Your senses are what's interesting.
Really?
I think of the phrase, there's a fine line between genius and something else, and look at it distantly. Something else. Huh? Was there a river here? The people of Rus are familiar with the flow of water. I was proud of that as well, so I tilted my head at the river which I did not recognize.
Oh, that's the canal that will be built in the future. It has already been decided by the Assembly, so it will be announced soon.
What? You're building a canal?
Yes. We're currently spending a lot of time and effort to transport the resources that can be extracted from underground here. But if this canal is built, we will be able to cut down on that drastically. Also, this city is a popular destination for tourists from outside the continent, and a popular place for medical treatment. If we can make it easier to get to, the foreign aristocrats will pour money into it. In the long run, the post-construction benefits will be immense. So I thought we should do it now, when we have the finances to do it. What if down the road... For example, there is a catastrophe, such as an epidemic worse than the rot, and the country's finances will suffer, and then we will never be able to do it.
So it's an upfront investment. As I glanced sideways, Toya nodded and stared at the future canal. The unmistakable face of the king is there, and I take a deep breath.
Nasla can still develop. I want to extend its potential.
Even though he's usually excited and a little... weird at times, Toya is still the king of Nasla. What I should have known was strangely fresh in my mind. Come to think of it, when he kidnapped me, I did think of him as kingly. Girl. Yet recently, perhaps because we have been spending so much time together as friends, I have lost awareness of the fact that I am confronting a person of such a high status. Once again, knowing Toya's resourcefulness and the depth of his awareness as a king, it seemed like a shame that he was running away from getting married. If there is someone who would inherit Toya's will and talent, this continent can develop further. That's a waste.
What is?
Sorry to sound like Noel for a bit, but Toya, there really isn't any woman you like?
Why do you ask that?
You want this continent to develop further, right? In that case, I thought it would be better to leave someone who will inherit your blood and will.
There is a woman I'm interested in, but I don't think I'll get her.
Why not? You're a hit with any woman. My longtime friend, I can assure you of that. Oh, she hit him with a longtime friend.
I appreciate that. But right now, I don't want to think about it yet. Besides, if I were to die, there are plenty of replacements to be the Nasla king. That is the way it is with groups of people. When the times call for it, the right person will appear and bring everyone together. So all I can leave behind is my will, which is enough.
Toya, why do you speak of yourself as if you are replaceable? With a mindset like that, you'll lose in battle. I don't think he is suicidal, but I had noticed that when Toya talks about the future, there was something close to resignation behind his eyes. It is a contradiction to hold out hope for the future of the country, but not to be attached to one's own life. Is that why? There are moments when I feel a sense of danger and fleeting when I'm in front of such a bright and strong king. I get frustrated every time. Before I knew it, my inner voice was spilling out of my mouth. You are the only king of Nasla, Toya.
Huh?
The Toya before me now is, to me, the Nasla king. There's no replacing you. So treat yourself with more importance. You're irreplaceable to me. I put my feelings into every word I said, hoping that it would resonate with even the most stubborn of hearts. It should have. But Toya looked terribly surprised and didn't move an inch. Perhaps he is holding back his laughter, thinking, "What are you saying so suddenly?" When I prepared myself that I might be laughed at, my cheeks gradually became flushed. Embarrassed to stare at Toya's face, I dropped my gaze. I'm sorry. I suddenly said something strange, didn't I? Toya is still silent. He was struck dumb. Instead of being laughed at, I might have offended him. I started to get a little anxious and tried to look up.
You are like the butterfly that wandered into my basement that day. Sparkling and beautiful.
Damn! Oh, that means so much after doing his route. Oof. Oof. I thought this was Suren's special story. I think we spent more time with Toya so far, and Toya's already, like, got me in my feels. Huh? A muffled little murmur fell out. I was about to ask if it was a metaphor for something when I looked at Toya and saw... Oh god! Oh no! Oh god! I'm in danger! Help! Help! Somebody help! Not those eyes. Not the disconnected eyeballs. Not this music. Not again. Oh lord. In an instant, I had goosebumps. Yep, me too, girl. A creeping sensation crawls up from around my waist, and a nasty sweat starts to wipe out. This person is Toya, right? It was so different that it reaffirmed what should have been obvious. The eyes, which until a few moments ago were filled with various emotions, are strangely clear. They are clear, bottomless, and empty. It's not that he's in a worse or better mood. It feels as if the whole person has changed. What am I thinking? I must still be exhausted from last night. Toya's slightly frayed fingertips caress my confused, motionless cheek. Oh dear. As I cowered my shoulders, a disastrously beautiful voice whispered to me. Disastrously. Oh, God. This is bad news bears.
I love Suren, but damn it. Why does he always get what he wants? I'm still stuck in that basement.
Even the way he talks has changed. Basement? My voice trembled strangely, so maybe he couldn't hear it. Toya changes the subject, pretending not to hear me. Oh gosh, that smile is creepy, man.
My interest in you is boundless.
Thanks.
It really is endless. I want to keep you by my side and gaze at you forever.
It's like lead is stuck in my throat and I can't swallow my saliva. This unidentified tension seems to have taken my breath away and my fingers gradually become numb. I was supposed to be having a good time with my friend, but what is this feeling? The more I thought about it, the more I couldn't understand it. And at last, I was about to scream. Timing. Thank you.
Hey, Toya. I'm here to talk about the upcoming inspection team. You...
No, I have to get rid of this cold sweat as soon as possible. I was just having a chat with my friend. Impatiently, I forced the corners of my mouth to turn up in an attempt to smile, but it was probably an awkward, drawn-out smile. Suren frowned at the strange atmosphere in the room, and then his expression turned grim. He's like, "Wife, we're going home. It's time to leave. Don't argue. Whatever you do, girl, don't argue."
We're going home.
Oh, but you came here on business for Toya.
That's fine. Just come here.
Though clearly angry, Suren did not hit Toya or yell at him. He merely ordered me in a low voice. Now I'm joking on the awkwardness. Even though I have not done a single thing wrong, I feel like I have done something wrong because of the tremendous anger radiating from Suren. Oh, okay. See you later, Toya.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
When I said goodbye, Suren clicked his tongue loudly. When I get close, he pulls me to him violently and grabs me painfully by the wrist.
Don't talk to him the way he is now.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I said don't provoke him any further.
But I was just talking to Toya.
Shut up.
I'm the one who wants to be angry. I wanted to retort, but the chill that had enveloped me earlier had prevented me from mustering the energy to argue. He's not angry at you. He's just scared. It's manifesting as anger, and it's just like he wants to convey the seriousness of the situation. Like, don't argue with me, right? We gotta leave, like, immediately. That could have ended very badly for you, Naala.
Ooh.
Suren was silent the entire time back home. When we entered the bedroom, his first words at last shook the hard air.
You know what I want to say.
But really, I was just talking to Toya.
Up to that moment. If I hadn't come in, he would have attacked you.
Impossible. Toya? I can't believe it.
There's no absolutes between a man and a woman. Not for shit! I mean, I just told you to be careful with Toya. You can't be so careless as to follow him into his room.
Careful, always careful. But why should I be so careful with a friend? What are you hiding about Toya? Is there something you really want to tell me?
I got nothing to say.
Then stop restricting my actions for no reason. And besides being a friend, Toya is the king, you know? Even you should understand that it is difficult to keep turning his invitations down.
Are you saying it's okay for a friend to take advantage of you?
Why are you talking like that? I've told you many times that Toya is a man of integrity. Before that, Toya is your best friend. He is your best friend, right?
It's true that he's special to me. I'd like for him to live a long life.
Then...
I've warned you before. Everyone has a side they don't show to others.
Even if that's the case, I'm not a weak woman who can be silently pushed down, and I'll resist anyone. Huh? Suddenly, I was lifted up like a barrel, and my vision shook violently. When I was upset and flapped my limbs, I was squeezed so hard that I couldn't breathe. No, put me down!
Shut up. If you don't, I'll bite your tongue.
Ow! I was thrown down on the bed with a violent motion that could be described as a tossing motion. Okay, I mean, I get what he's doing, but it's, I don't know, I think this is a little too far. Suren, you're going a little too far with this. I know Naala's stubborn and doesn't listen, but I think this is too far. Suren easily twisted my hand away from my attempts to resist, and with one hand he split his muscular body between my legs. No matter how much I push or pull, I can't move.
How are you going to resist in this state? Explain in detail.
That's...
You are stronger than most women, but still weaker than most men. When cornered in this way, women are powerless. If your body gets taken, who knows what'll happen next?
Who knows? Do you really think I'd fall for Toya?
I don't.
Then what the hell are you saying?
Your body was taken from you, just like this, and that's how you became my wife.
It is true that my maidenhood was taken from me, and I became his wife. And in the case of Suren, because I've seen the alternative 18 plus scenes. It was forced in that case. I think that's the only one where it was forced in some way, if I'm remembering correctly. So his concerns are valid, considering that's exactly how things played out between them. Ugh. But when he said it as if that was all there was to it, I felt like I had been hit over the head with a sledgehammer. Whatever the beginning, I thought we were united through many hardships together. The shock is too strong and too sad, and my lips quiver. Why are you saying that now?
But it's true.
Perhaps sensing my feelings, or perhaps thinking he had said too much, Suren's face takes on a bitter expression. Seeing that, I hoped he would stop. The next moment, hot lips grazed my neck and a scream-like voice came out. Stop! Even if you have your way with me, things won't be the way you want them to be!
They will! Tonight, I'll show you without a doubt who your husband is.
Ugh, this is like so many steps backward. Man, I was with Naala. I thought you guys had really made some progress. Suren, you were like gonna be up higher on my list. You're putting yourself down the list. Oh no, the list. Oh. This is terrible. I want out. I want out of here.
No one can take you away from me. You are my only wife.
It was the first time since that wedding night that I had been forced to submit. My exhausted limbs are terribly heavy. My throat trembled with frustration and anger, and a large hand stroked my head in a comforting tone. Still, my heart is not healed at all. Gee, I wonder why. I turned my face away from him, and he kissed me on my wet cheek. This is terrible.
It's not. We've done this many times.
My anger was over the boiling point, and I had no time to pretend to be anything else. Anyway, I threw all the pillows I had on hand and screamed as loud as I could. Suren, I hate you!
Hey, wait!
Solana would be busy with her kid, and Toya... Yeah, I can't go there. I had run out of the house, but had nowhere to go, so I wandered aimlessly around the fountain. After 3 laps, my head began to cool down, and I gradually began to feel remorseful. I can't easily forgive what Suren did, nor should you. If he's alarmed because of some secret, I think he should explain what it is. It is unreasonable for me to get yelled at over something I don't know about. True. But thinking about it from the opposite point of view, I'd be a little worried with my partner alone with the opposite sex in a closed room regardless of secrets. Whether or not you trust your spouse is a different matter. I'll talk to Toya next time about not being able to visit his room after all. Toya is a bit selfish at times, but he is a kind person. I'm sure he'll understand. Okay, once that's decided, I need to go home and talk to Suren about it. First of all, I'm going to apologize for not being mature enough. Apologize? And will that really be the end of it? Suren won't be sharing any more secrets about Toya with me in the future. Damn, I'm still confused. Oh, speak of the frickin' devil, man!
You shouldn't be walking around alone at night.
Toya! Just as I made up my mind, Toya shows up and I get flustered. I almost ran away as quickly as I could, but stopped myself by flexing my legs. No matter what, running away would be rude. I took a deep breath, calmed myself down, and smiled as brightly as I could. Are you taking a walk too?
Yeah, but this doesn't look like a walk for you.
Huh?
Your eyes are red.
When I awkwardly dropped my gaze, he quickly stroked my eye. Ow. I could feel his fingertips as warm, probably because Toya's mood had returned to what I knew. The thing from the afternoon was just an illusion after all. She really just doesn't learn. She's just a glutton for punishment. Like, oh gosh. This whole thing is just painful. I just want it to be over. Please, stop. When I felt relieved, my body relaxed and my tear glands relaxed along with it. As if induced by the gentle movement of his fingertips, the corners of my eyes became moist.
It's my fault.
As
the person who caused the problem, maybe I have no place to say, but I'll listen if you want to talk. You said earlier that you were feeling frustrated. Maybe you'll feel better if you talk about it.
Thanks.
Will you talk to me?
Yeah. You know, Toya, I chose my words carefully and told him the reason for the fight and my questions about Toya. I was hesitant to ask Toya himself, but if I didn't, the relationship between the three of us might become strained and irreparable. If that's the case, I'd rather resolve things now than let that happen. After listening to everything, Toya spoke in a calm but deeply regretful voice.
I know you didn't tell me this because you wanted me to apologize, but allow me to do so. I am truly sorry. I was just so overwhelmed with joy at the unexpected words you spoke that I lost myself.
I don't recall saying anything that important.
For me, it was so joyful that I couldn't keep myself in check. That was when I realized it. Or rather, I opened my eyes to a truth I'd been avoiding.
Truth?
There's definitely a side of me that I haven't revealed. That part of me has always wanted you.
It's embarrassing when you say it again. It's kind of like a confession of love.
Nothing kind of like about it. It is.
I thought I understood the meaning of the words, but I couldn't grasp the flow of the conversation. I felt like I could if I wanted to, but my head refused to do so. Toya looks at me as I stand there and smiles. Such a pained smile. Then he took a small breath and closed his eyes, and as he opened them again, he laughed in a way I had never seen before. The expression on his face, more glamorous than usual, and with a hint of loneliness, made my heart flutter. Oh no, what is happening?
What I mean is that I also had special feelings for you. Romantic feelings. I'm sorry to state it so clearly. There. I finally said it. Now I can give up.
The unexpected confession of love shocked me out of my wits. I doubt my ears and tilt my head gently. Toya loves me? In a special way? Toya had always been my best friend. I believed without a doubt that it was the same for Toya. I was upset because my long-held beliefs had been overturned. There was no room for embarrassment or joy. I was simply bewildered. A palm is gently placed on my frozen cheek.
I've bothered you again. I'm always causing you problems.
Since when?
I'm sure I was attracted to your nobility from the first time we met. But seeing you love one man with all your heart, I think my feelings for you have grown even stronger. I also felt envious of Suren. And the reason I couldn't control my own greed like this was because I unconsciously depended on Suren. If it had been with another man, that side of me wouldn't have been so out in the open.
Now things really aren't making sense. Contrary to me, who had many question marks floating above my head, Toya lowered his hand with a clear face.
I'm glad I was able to regain myself before I hurt my two best friends. Noel does do good things sometimes.
What does Noel have to do with this? Noel? Did Noel suggest something?
Yeah. He said that if my feelings for you were that strong, I should go ahead and sleep with you. It would be better than not having an heir, and he'd take care of the rest.
What does that have to do with this? Now I got the question marks above my head. That man dropped another outrageous bomb.
Seeing Noel, who really would be able to take care of the rest, helped calm me down. Is this really okay? This definitely isn't what the man who entrusted his wishes to me would have wanted. That's why I... Hey! How long are you going to stay outside? Toya. Don't glare at me. I haven't done anything. As long as you've got that face. Yeah, I'm saying that I won't do anything.
After this mysterious exchange, Suren stared at Toya and abruptly erased the wrinkles from his brow. Leaving me twisting my head again, both of us are in a strangely convinced mood. I know they're good friends, but I wish they wouldn't have these non-verbal conversations. It leaves me out of the loop. I tried to complain, but Suren grabbed my shoulder and I missed the opportunity.
Sorry. I said too much. I should have calmed down and talked things out, so my bad.
No, I said some things I shouldn't have said, so... I'm sorry. And then I just happened to run into Toya.
I know.
The nod was so easily given that it was disconcerting. As I blinked my eyes, Toya shook his shoulders in a funny way.
Alright, it's time to ask him anything. If you don't get answers, I'm sure you won't be able to accept things. You've gotten everything you wanted, so I'm sure you can handle this level of harassment.
With a provocative smile, Toya then turned around. With the sound of footsteps moving away, a soft voice reaches my ears.
Suren, just as you told me I was special, I feel the same way. So with those feelings, I'm going to seal away the me that came out tonight. I'll never show him to anyone else again.
There seemed to be mixed emotions in Suren's eyes as he stared at Toya leaving. To say the least. Despite everything, Suren really does love Toya. I look into the profile of a man who appears to be expressionless yet is plainly concerned. It has already been a few hours since we returned to the mansion, and yet Suren has remained mostly silent. The only time he opens his mouth is when he lets out a sigh. He gazes at the moon in a daze, unaware that the cup in his hand is empty. I spoke softly to him, as if I was just pouring him a drink. You look worried about Toya.
That guy's prone to holding a lot of things in. If he can shut down his true feelings even to me, that's a problem.
Your friendship with Toya is a mystery. No matter how bad your fights get, you're always connected by some kind of inseparable bond. Sometimes I even get jealous.
It's not a good bond.
You say that, but you're always looking out for him.
Have we started the question barrage?
You say that like you don't want to answer.
As long as you're in this country, you gotta be on the lookout for the fox's eyes. Anytime, anywhere.
Does that mean Noel might kill me if I find out the core of the story? In that case, this is more or less a state secret. That really was quite troublesome, wasn't it?
Exactly. Despite that, you kept getting on well with Toya with no sense of caution, and my stomach was churning every day.
If the reason you wanted to keep me away was for my safety, you could have said so from the beginning.
Even if I did, you were convinced that he's a good guy, so you wouldn't have believed me.
Well, that's...
But I was at fault too. My own jealousy popped up in various ways, and it made me impatient.
He usually doesn't admit to being jealous. Normally I didn't care about his attitude was too obvious, but hearing it like this makes it seem special. Perhaps Suren himself did not intend to say it, but it slipped out because of the situation.
What?
It's a secret. Now we both have our own secrets, right? He frowned slightly uninterestedly. When I quickly nuzzled the furrow between his brows, Suren blinked in surprise for a moment, then quickly looked out the window. I wanted to ask if he was embarrassed, but I knew he would sulk if I did, so I held back. I got it. I won't ask about you and Toya's secret anymore. To reassure him, I tell him in proper words. Then his averted gaze returned and his eyes indicated his lap. Yeah. Invited without a voice, I sit down on Suren's lap. Sure, why not? We'll do that. More CGs, sure. Yeah, okay, that's fine, whatever. Maybe this means it's almost over. I carefully accepted the lips that came to me in less than a few seconds and looked into the purple eyes up close. Oh, that's terrifying smiles you guys have. You look like you both have completely lost it and are now on your villain arcs. But you know what? You guys, go. Go. Hey, isn't there a reward for an understanding wife?
Can't be helped. I'll give you anything, except for that.
While his voice sounds exasperated, his voice is nothing but that of a gentle husband spoiling his wife. Just listening to it makes me happy. My whole body relaxes, and if I don't lean on him, I feel like I'm going to fall. Our lips pecked several lips, as I hoped that he would be as drunk with happiness as I was. So how much do you love me?
You. Trying to make me say things to sound like some lovesick fool.
You'll answer anything, right?
As if I could say that.
So you withdraw your previous statement?
Dumbass. I can't express how much in words. Don't underestimate the depths of my affections.
The very heat of the depth of his emotion enveloped my whole body. I let myself be enraptured by its strength and hugged him back. No matter what secrets Suren may have, I won't be lost anymore. Even more than a million I love yous, I will live my life believing in Suren's kisses. Sure. Even more than I love you. Oh, that was a disaster. I'm sorry. I was not a... I mean, the whole, like... acknowledgement? I don't know if that's the word. Of Toya and Suren's relationship and Toya's secret. That was interesting. But gosh dang, I feel like we took several steps back in Suren's route with that. I mean, yes, it's in character. But it was in character like 3 years ago, not now. Like, oh, Lord. Oh, the jealousy is rampant, I tell you. But anyway, we did it. We're done with Suren for right now. I think, let me check, because now I've forgotten. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Hold on. Let me just check something. That's not the right thing either. Hold on. Epilogues. Okay, I was like, I think Naran has an epilogue. He does, so we'll do that next time. I'm gonna go and decompress from that. I hope you guys enjoyed for what it was, and hopefully I'll see you next time.